citizens of Taiwan are faced with a nationwide pandemic involving a rapidly spreading and now reportedly mutating virus. Why does that sound so familiar? Many have written the virus off as much ado about nothing, a hoax intended to manipulate the public during an election year and tank the economy. Then the infected start breaking bad. Big bad. Their eyes turn black, their mouths contort into a maniacal grin, and they want nothing more than to torture, cannibalize, sexually violate, and ultimately murder every non-infected person within sight. But not necessarily in that order. I first heard about the sadness last year. It had made a number of critics' best of lists, and though I didn't want to read too much into the movie prior to seeing it, what little I did read made the movie sound like it was extreme. The Sadness isn't a zombie movie, although it takes the tried and true zombie movie setup in which one infected character can infect and turn many others by way of an exchange of bodily fluids. In the case of The Sadness, however, I'm not just talking about bites and saliva. I'm talking about other bodily fluids too. It's a pandemic movie. What better time for a pandemic movie, right? It's kind of like 28 Days Later, only the infected are still themselves. You're still you. You're cognizant, you're verbal, you remember your past, you recognize family and friends, only now you're very unpleasant to be around. We learned that the virus, called the Alvin virus, is structurally similar to rabies, and thus far has only caused cold-like symptoms. However, the virus is mutated, causing the infected to succumb to their most primal urges. From here, The Sadness truly earns its extreme reputation. The Sadness takes a familiar, well-worn premise that you've seen dozens of times before, but writer and director Rob Jabbaz is determined to subject you to levels of intensity and depravity some may find difficult to endure. Jabbaz pulls no punches not only when it comes to blood and gore, but acts of extreme depravity. Early on in the film, we're treated to an absolutely brutal sequence in which passengers on a train are attacked by the infected. When it's all said and done, the inside of the train is painted red with blood. The infected use knives, keys, their hands and teeth, even an umbrella to create all-out carnage and spread the infection. At the center of the film are Jim and Kat, a young couple who find themselves on opposite ends of town when the crap hits the fan. They both fend off and elude countless infected as Jim works his way across town to reunite with Kat. The movie also focuses on one infected character, a socially awkward businessman who sure seems to be having the time of his life now that the Alvin virus has unleashed his inner sadist. The Sadness isn't going to be for everyone though, and not just due to the violence and bloodshed, but the extreme sexual content. How extreme is it, you ask? Think blood orgies, necrophilia, the big R. And if you're sensitive when it comes to eye trauma. And what makes the violence and depravity all the more unsettling is watching how much the infected are enjoying themselves while inflicting. In fact, the more violent and depraved the acts are, the more the infected seem to get aroused by them. From a technical point of view, The Sadness is a well-made, great-looking movie with a moody score and strong performances from its cast. On the downside, despite all the carnage, The Sadness lacked energy at times, or a sense of urgency. The pacing felt a little lackadaisical from time to time as well. Jabbaz inserts moments of social commentary, poking fun at the government's slow response time to the outbreak and the public's skepticism toward the science behind fighting the virus. It makes The Sadness hit close to home, but it also provides the film with unnecessary comedic moments. It's not that big of an issue, but The Sadness isn't the kind of movie that the occasional moment of levity is going to do much in the way of lightening the mood. The Sadness comes highly recommended by me, but keep in mind, if you're sensitive to extreme sexual content, you may want to give it a pass. If you've seen The Sadness, please let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Thank you to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and have a say in what content appears on my channel. Join me for monthly live streams and much more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.